The Magical Kitty. Once upon a time in a happy kingdom there lived a queen, a king, and their truly adorable little baby Princess Leia. Princess Leia was described as the most playful and lovable little baby ever. One day as the queen was out in the palace garden with baby Leia and her attendants, something quite unexpected occurred. Suddenly from amidst the bushes a huge and tubby ginger cat tumbled out. The poor creature's fur was matted with leaves and dirt, and it clearly appeared to be in pain. The queen, upon seeing the cat, reacted with some disdain, remarking that it was too dirty and commanding it to go away. The cat, feeling very sad, turned to leave. However, as the queen witnessed the cat preparing to depart, baby Leia suddenly began to cry endlessly. Realizing Leia's affection for the animal, the queen decided, oh dear, seems like Leia really likes the cat, let's keep it, it can be her pet. So the ginger cat was picked up and brought into the luxurious palace. There the maids thoroughly washed and cleaned it, removing all the dirt and leaves from its fur. They carefully treated its injured paw. Finally they tied a huge pretty ribbon around its neck, making it look simply adorable. True to the queen's prediction, Leia adored the cat so much that she literally would not sleep unless it was there with her. She would cry non-stop until the cat was brought to her side. Their bond was immediate and strong, and they became inseparable, always found together. The king and queen often commented on the amazing strength of their bond, hoping it would continue for a long time, as the cat was the only thing that kept Leia happy. That very night, when the entire world had fallen asleep, the ginger cat woke up. It shook off its bandages, realizing its injury was finally healed. The cat then decided it must leave the palace. It acknowledged the kindness it had received, stating, "Thank you for your kindness, I will never forget it," before quietly departing. While the princess was still asleep the next morning, a thorough hunt for the cat began. Attendants, cleaners, cooks, and everyone else in the palace looked high and low for it, calling out, "Here kitty, where are you?" The cat was not found, and eventually a stuffed toy was offered as a replacement, leading to the cat being forgotten from the palace. Many years passed by, and Princess Leia grew up. She blossomed into a cheerful and extremely beautiful woman. Leia loved to spend her time outside, going for long walks in the forest, admiring the pretty flowers and singing with the little birds. One particular day, while enjoying her walk with her two attendants, Leia began to sing softly, a gentle and sweet melody. As she sang, her attendants, tired from their duties, gradually drifted off into a deep slumber. Leia was delighted by her newfound freedom. Seizing the opportunity to explore further, she wondered what she might find if she ventured a little deeper into the forest. As she continued on, she sang happily, her gentle and sweet voice not only attracting all the songbirds but also drawing the attention of a very mean giant ogre who lived in that forest. The ogre, taken by her voice, decided he wanted her for himself, declaring, "I will take you home and you shall be my wife." Leia cried out for help, but her screams went unheard as she had gone too far and her attendants were fast asleep. The ogre forcibly took her away to his dark cave, where he put her down. Leia began to cry, but the ogre silenced her, demanding she stop her horrible sound and instead sing to him every day. Poor Leia was forced to sing through her tears, feeling completely helpless. In the evening, the ogre grew thirsty and commanded Leia to go fetch water from the stream. He handed her a bucket and warned her sternly not to even think of running away, threatening to chase her until he found her if she did. Leia sadly made her way towards the stream. When she reached it, she noticed a cat sleeping peacefully on a rock. It was in fact the same ginger cat she had played with as a baby, though she didn't remember it. Leia, drawn to its cuteness, gently called out, "Oh, how cute, here kitty kitty, come to me." She stretched out her hand to touch it, but the cat bounced away into the bushes. Disappointed, Leia sighed, "Oh dear, I guess it's not my lucky day." However, the cat soon reappeared, and Leia, delighted, exclaimed, "Oh, you came here. Come here, nice kitty. Oh, how beautiful you are. I don't have any friends here, and a mean ogre has kidnapped me to be his bride. I can't even even run away, or else he'll come after me. I wish you could save me, would you, little kitty?" As soon as Leah uttered these words, the little kitty underwent a miraculous transformation. It turned into a handsome young man with bright red hair, but there was something even more strange about him. He had cat ears on his head and a tail swishing around behind him. Leah, startled, asked, "Oh, what are you?" The young man reassured her, asking her not to be afraid, and introduced himself as Prince Radley from the neighboring kingdom. He explained that when he was young he had been a very mean kid, and as a consequence he was cursed to be a cat spirit forced to stay in the forest. Leah, hopeful, asked if there was a way to break this curse. Radley revealed that there was only one way: he must perform a great deed of kindness to someone, and that person must not know of it. Only then would he returned to his normal self. Before Leah could fully process this kind act that does sound very situation, the ogre's booming voice interrupted them, demanding to know where Leah had gone and complaining of thirst. Leah exclaimed, "Oh no, I have to go, goodbye." Radley called out, "Wait, Leah." Leah, surprised, asked, "Oh no, what? How did you know my name?" But Radley had already hidden himself within the bushes. The next afternoon, while Leah was attempting to cook for the ogre, Radley unexpectedly jumped in through the window. Leah, initially calling him Kitty, quickly corrected herself to Radley, asking what he was doing. Radley replied that he was nothing, trying to make something good or that huge monster, and then suggested, would strawberries taste good in a soup? Strawberry soup? Leah agreed, saying, "Yeah, I'm sure, great." Radley, seemingly enthusiastic, declared, "Let me go and just get them. I love strawberries." As Leah went out to search for strawberries, Radley's gaze fell upon a hot pepper bottle in front of him. He mused, I wonder if I could just down to the strawberries. Now let's mix it all together. This soup is gonna be amazing, right?" Leah somewhat hesitantly replied, "Oh yeah, totally, super." Radley then quickly stated, "Well, I have to go somewhere. Meet me at the stream when you're done here, okay?" And with that, he leapt out the window. Soon after, the ogre's voice bellowed, "Princess, where's my soup? If you don't bring it now, I'll eat you as my royal lunch." Leah brought the soup, telling him, "Here's your soup. I tried to make it with lots of delicious things. It may be a little sweet." The ogre snorted at her comment and took a whole spoonful of soup into his mouth. He was in for a profound shock, as the soup was not sweet at all. If anything, the ogre felt like there was a fire in his mouth. He cried out, "Oh," and ran out of the cave towards the river to quench the burning sensation. Radley, however, was waiting for him. He had grown his tail long and had tied it to a tree, anticipating the ogre's arrival. As the ogre came running at full speed, Radley pulled his magical tail, causing the ogre to trip over it and fall straight into the river. The strong current of the river then washed him away, and the ogre was never seen again. Radley then emerged, asking Leah, "Oh, what happened?" He confidently announced, "I finished off the giant for you. You're now free to leave." Leah was amazed and thanked Radley profusely, but she also expressed how scary the whole ordeal had been and wished it had never happened. Radley felt very sorry for the poor princess, so he put his hand on her head and petted her slowly, saying, "I will grant this wish of yours. You won't remember anything that happened about the ogre. Don't fear anything and sleep soundly, my sweet Leah." As Radley spoke, Leah's eyes felt heavy and she soon fell asleep. Radley then carefully picked her up and made his way towards the palace. When he reached it, he stood under her window and looked up, thinking, "This will be a long way. Hold tightly." Radley began to grow his tail, extending it upwards until it reached the princess's window. He held Leah tightly and used his tail to pull both of them up safely into her room. Once inside, he gently tucked her up in her warm bed, whispering, "Sleep well, my princess. I hope we meet again." As Radley began to descend from the window, he suddenly started to glow and his cat ears and tail disappeared from his body. Since Radley had successfully saved Princess Leah from the ogre and had also removed her memory of the traumatic events, thus fulfilling the condition that the recipient of his kindness must not know of it, His curse had now been removed. He exclaimed, I'm a normal human. Again, I'm free, and happily returned to his kingdom. The next morning when the princess awoke, the king and queen burst into her room overwhelmed with worry, asking, my daughter, oh, where have you been, Leah? Oh, Leah, are you all right? But Leah couldn't remember anything that had transpired. She was most shocked to see her parents standing over her looking so worried. Confused, she asked, what's wrong? Why are you both so worried? I had such a strange dream about a cat and an ogre and a very handsome man. I wonder who he was. As the days went by, the king and queen noticed that their daughter was not her usual self. She always seemed to be in a dream, often lamenting, I seem to have forgotten something very important, but I don't know what it is. Her parents grew concerned, remarking, our poor daughter doesn't seem to be happy these days. What do you think we should do? After much deliberation, the king suggested, the only thing we haven't tried is marriage. The queen agreed, oh yes, let's do that. Why be able to find happiness in someone she can love? So the very next day, princes from many kingdoms came to meet Princess Leah. Leah saw them all, but not one of them appealed to her. At that very moment, Radley himself came to greet her. As he smiled and bowed, Leah was very surprised. She recognized him from her dream, exclaiming, You are the prince I dreamt of. Radley, flattered, inquired, I'm flattered, Your Highness. Does that mean you choose to marry me? Leah replied, only if you can tell me what I love the most, only then will I marry you. Radley thought for a moment, then ventured a guess. Oh, let me guess, is it strawberries? Leah was astonished, asking, How did you know? Radley simply smiled and said, just a simple guess. Soon after, they were married and lived happily together. Leah loved Radley with all her heart, and she even adopted a little kitten. As for Radley, he never told her about their shared past, as he believed that sometimes it is best to keep certain things to oneself. The story of The Magical Kitty and Princess Leah explores several profound themes, offering insights into the nature of kindness, memory, and the unseen threads of destiny. Central to the narrative is the concept of selfless kindness. Prince Radley's curse can only be broken by performing a great deed of kindness to someone, specifically someone who must not know of it. This condition emphasizes a pure form of altruism where the act is done for its own sake without expectation of recognition or reward. Radley's decision to wipe Leah's memory of the terrifying ogre encounter is presented as this qualifying act of kindness. It spares her the trauma, allowing her to return to her cheerful self, albeit with a vague sense of loss. This act, while kind, also raises questions about the nature of truth and whether withholding it, even for a benevolent reason, is always ideal. However, within the confines of the fairy tale, it serves to break the curse and restore Radley to his true form, highlighting that his transformation from a mean kid is completed through this ultimate act of compassion. Another significant aspect is the role of memory and recognition. Leah, as a baby, forms an unbreakable bond with the cat, crying endlessly until it is by her side. Many years later, she encounters the same cat transformed into Prince Radley, but she does not consciously remember him, yet there is an undeniable intuitive connection. Her strange dream about a cat and an ogre and a very handsome man is a subconscious echo of the events she has forgotten. This suggests that some connections run deeper than conscious memory, operating on a more primal, spiritual, or fated level. Her ability to identify Radley from her dream and her accurate guess about his love for strawberries, a detail planted by Radley during their time together, serves as the catalyst for their reunion and eventual marriage. It signifies a kind of recognition that transcends the amnesia, implying that true bonds cannot be entirely erased. The characters also represent Different facets of this journey. Princess Leia embodies innocence and vulnerability, but also a profound capacity for love and an inherent goodness that initially saves the cat. Her journey from sheltered princess to kidnapped victim and then to a woman searching for an inexplicable missing piece makes her relatable. Prince Radley is a complex figure. He begins as a mean kid whose actions lead to his curse, demonstrating a consequence for unkindness. His transformation into a cat spirit and his subsequent heroic actions show a path to redemption and personal growth. He is intelligent and resourceful, devising a clever plan to defeat the ogre with the pepper soup and his magical tail. His final decision to keep their shared history a secret from Leia underscores his matured understanding of kindness and perhaps a desire to protect her peace even at the cost of shared memories. The ogre serves as a clear, unambiguous antagonist, representing the external dangers and trials that must be overcome for protagonists to find their happy ending. His defeat is pivotal, enabling the resolution of both Leia's plight and Radley's curse. Ultimately, the Magical Kitty story is a classic fairy tale about destiny and true love finding its way even when circumstances or even memory itself try to obscure it. The initial kindness shown to the cat by baby Leia sets in motion a chain of events that eventually leads to her salvation and romantic happiness. The motif of an animal transforming into a prince is common in folklore, often symbolizing inner worth or the breaking of a spell through love or a selfless act. The story concludes with a traditional happy ending where love conquers adversity and a forgotten past is peacefully set aside for a fulfilling future. The adoption of a kitten by Leia at the end subtly reinforces the enduring nature of her connection to the cat and by extension to Radley's true kind self.